And now back to Ginger Z in the studio.
In the South, it'll be. So, Laura, how did the economy affect women in the Civil War?
Well, Ginger, during the Civil War, women suffered when the men left. They were forced to get jobs in order to support themselves and their families. Another popular current topic is Hillary Clinton, who's a popular women's rights advocate.
Much like this topic, created by Cady Staton and Susan B. Anthony, is the National Women's Loyal League, which promoted women's rights and the abolition of slavery.
Women during this time also began to question why they were considered to be unsuited for certain activities.
And I am a woman, and you cannot tell me what to do.
During this time, influential women such as Cady Staton and Susan B. Anthony rose to political power. Cady Staton was a suffragist, women's rights activist, and abolitionist who presented the Declaration of Sentiments at the Seneca Falls Convention. Susan B. Anthony also fell into these categories and was a state agent for the American Anti-Slavery Society. The pair also founded the American Equal Rights Campaign and were major catalysts in the 19th Amendment.
Wow, what an interesting topic. Didn't know that women were so involved with social aspects in the Civil War.
When husbands left for war, the women were required to fill the roles that they had left empty socially, such as raising a family, agriculture, and managing slaves.
It's okay. I'm done.
Women also began to fill more jobs as school teachers, government leaders, and most importantly, nurses. Women made good nurses because of their maternal instincts.
Spearhead in the major transition to women dominating the nursing field is Clara Barton, who distributed medical supplies to the battlefields and founded the American Red Cross. Another prominent nursing figure is Florence Nightingale, who began treating wounded soldiers during the Crimean War. She became known as the Lady with the Lamp for her nightly checks on her patients.
In the battlefield!
Women even disguised themselves in order to fight in battle.
How did they affect religion?
Though religion was not impacted by women during the Civil War, they did have a big impact on the intellectuality of the nation.
During the Civil War, women began to drastically impact the intelligence of our nation. They did this by educating the next generation as school teachers. Teaching was a field previously dominated by men, but was now assumed by many women nationwide. Women also became leaders in new ideas about sanitation. Led by Dorothea Dix, the U.S. Sanitary Commission supplied medicine and food to hospitals, which led to the decline of death and disease during the Civil War.
You are a failure as a doctor.
Finally, female nurses began to stand up to male doctors about their use of malpractice.
You're a failure as a doctor.
We'll be discussing women of World War II taking part in the military.
At the end of the war, more than 350,000 women had served in the United States Armed Forces. They were needed to fill male jobs requiring fine motor skills and attention to detail. These women needed to be U.S. citizens, ages 21 to 45, and be at least 5 feet tall and 100 pounds.
There were many branches of service at the time specifically made for women. Although they worked just as hard, most women were not treated equally to their male counterparts. Staton and someone else. Oh my God!
Susan B. Anthony,
Susan
you got this.
freaking B.
You
Anthony.
got this.
Ladies first. Okay, what are we doing?
Thank the Lord!